Yo, JD here. And as you can see, we are back on F1 22 once again. And back with our Hotlap and setup series. Apologies I didn't release a video yesterday. Was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I will try and be catching up. So most weekdays I will be releasing a setup, if not potentially 2 setups a day next week. That is the target. But yeah, we arrive at Spain here, and I have to say, this track was an absolute nightmare for me. It's a track on last game. In terms of my race pace, when I did a league race here, it was probably one of the most dominant league races I did, and my race pace has always been very, very good around this circuit, but the one that pace has something that's definitely not been natural to me around this circuit. And I think the Xbox world record is only a 16.1. I'm not sure what it is on PC, but on PlayStation it's a 15.7, which either people on PlayStation are just built differently, or there's just something I'm not realizing here, because that time is just absolutely crazy. So I spent quite a bit of time on this, trying to do the best I can. So as usual, we're going to be showing you a lap uninterrupted first, and then we will break it down straight afterwards. And in terms of the lap itself, I was actually pretty happy with this. There's definitely a bit of time to find in Sector 2, for sure. This Sector 1 felt almost perfect to me. It felt really, really good. But you'll see, going through not this next right-hander, but the left-hander after this, definitely a bit of time to find in there. I'd say for myself, I'd say maybe a tenth and a half absolute maximum. So going through here, we missed the apex. Going for this corner, you can see in the delta, we lost quite a bit of time there. But everything else, honestly, I don't think I could really gain that much time. And I'm using exactly the same setup as some people above me as well, and yeah, a little bit perplexed of where I was losing the time. So yeah, it's definitely one to come back to in the future and see how much we can improve. But yeah, apart from that left-hander in Sector 2, I felt everything here was almost a perfect lap, almost like a 9 out of 10, I'd say. The chicane, I couldn't really have gone much faster than this, and yeah, overall I was fairly satisfied. But yeah, the Xbox World Record is a 16.1. On here it's a 15.7. And I knew from looking at PlayStation last year, sometimes the TT times on PlayStation are actually faster than PC. So very impressive stuff. But as we go into the lap again, let's actually start to break it down. So when you go into this turn 1, you actually want to be looking at this grey part of the track. As soon as you hit that, that's where you want to start braking. So quite a late braking, so carry a lot of speed, kissing this curb on the inside, so making sure you miss those yellow sausage curbs, and then coming through and test. Try to take as much curb as you can, but again, avoiding the sausage curb and keep one wheel on the track, kind of like a turn 2 at Melbourne. Really important you do that. Once you get into the middle of a track, that is your turning in point, so you don't want to be taking too much of a track to the left. Completely flat out through this corner and try and keep it as tight as you can to minimize the distance of the track. When you're coming into this, it is literally just before the 50 meter ball, so again, carrying a lot of speed going into here. Try and keep it as tight as you can, going for this right hander. And as soon as you hit the apex, that's when you'll be going on the throttle. Unwind the steering, use all of the track on your exit. This corner is very, very tricky, but actually, if you look on the right hand side, as the Rolex green barrier goes out of view, that is your braking and turning in point. Try to do a late apex, but as I said before, want to be getting a bit closer to that apex than I did. Use all of the track on the exit. Keep nice and tight as you go up into this chicane. As soon as you hit that curb, that is when it will be start to braking and turning in. And then coming into this corner, avoiding the sausage curves, try and use it as much as you can. So about half the car on the curb, and then pretty much exactly the same for this corner, avoiding the sausage curb on the right hand side. And then coming into this next right hander, it's going to be completely flat out, and as this part of the track finishes, you want to be doing your maximum lock before the curb finishes. So that is your turning in point. Just before the curb finishes, completely flat out. Kiss this inside curb. Do not mount it because it will unsettle the car. Completely flat out through here. Try and avoid using too much of the curb on the exit. Make sure you get on the DRS line as well. As we're coming down to this corner, something that's been updated from last year's game. You want to be braking just as this gravel trap starts or pretty much finishes. That is your braking point. So just after the 100 meter board, carry a lot of speed. Once you hit the apex, go immediately into 4th gear. And you can see we go straight on the power, really aggressively. So as soon as we hit the apex, back in that power, try and use as much of a track as you can. Don't be so focused on getting all the way back over to this left-hand side. It isn't required. But the turning in point is these different shades of the track. So you've got the darker grey and the light grey. Once you hit that, that is your turning in point. Get as close as you can to this curb and just keep as tight as you possibly can. So think of a slingshot. Slow in, fast out. Use all the track here. And honestly, for this corner, a lot of this is by feeling, but I actually use this black box above the track. Just before I get there, I apply my maximum lock, kissing this curb on the inside. Use all of the track on the left. And as we go into here, just as this curb starts on the right-hand side, that's where you want to be braking and turning in. So turning in earlier than you think for the chicane. And again, avoiding the sausage curb on the inside. So just kissing the curb, and it's going to be exactly the same for the second part. So slow in, fast out, avoiding these yellow sausage curbs at all costs. And it's exactly the same for the exit. So use the curb, but just don't run onto the yellow stuff. And make sure you get in the DRS. Coming towards the end of the lap, it's a 15.999, so just about in the 15s. And yeah, that was only enough for 27th. And you can see it's very, very competitive on the leaderboard. And the guy who's done the 15.7 is just absolutely incredible. It's about 4 tenths clear faster than Xbox, which, yeah, I don't know if the game's a little bit different on PlayStation or the track limits, or I'm not sure, because for me, I can gain a tenth, but 2 tenths is a big ask. Coming into here, I was pretty much running exactly the same setup as the guy who did the fastest time, but I had a little bit more downforce, in fact, so a little bit higher on the front wing, 50-50 transmission, just trying to get maximum rotation and basically ease of use on the traction. Right, left seems to be a common theme. Higher front suspension, higher front roll bar, and then 6.5 ride height, which is a new development, which is quite interesting. And the tyres are in the middle for the fronts because you just want that mechanical grip, you want that more traction, and you want that more slow speed or slow corner rotation, which is something you definitely need around here. So that is my hot lap and setup. The setup feels absolutely great, but yeah, I think I just need to improve a bit on this track or cut a corner where something I'm missing or something like that. But nonetheless, a 15.9 I was still very happy about. So hopefully you'll find these videos useful. Austria I will try and get out tomorrow over this weekend. Hope you're enjoying the game, and I will catch you very soon. Peace.